Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we are going to take a look at the physical Android 14 and 15 unit after their recent EZA on DBZ Dokkan Metal Global. So these guys are Revenge Technology Android 14 and 15. They lead the target Goku category with key +3 HP attack and defense of 77%, and they also lead the physical type with 50%. They cause supreme damage to the enemy and lower their attack and defense. In terms of passive, they have attack and defense of 90%, plus an additional attack and defense of 29% when performing a super attack. They also gain an additional attack and defense of 90%, and foresee enemy super attacks for the rest of battle when you have Android 13 attacking in the same turn. They will also reduce damage received and give all allies attack and defense of 30% when your team has Fusion Android 13 attacking in the same turn. So an interesting thing about this is that if they are in a turn with the Android 13, that buff, that 90% buff, will remain with them even when Android 13 is out of that turn. So it just has to happen once and you will be able to foresee super attacks and they will have the buff. However, if you want the damage reduction, you have to have them paired up with a Fusion Android 13. So obviously your best bet is to pair them up with someone like the AGL Android 13, who will pretty much give them both passive requirements at different stages. Of course, I don't find their passive to be that restrictive. Their best linking partner is Android 13, and these guys are only on 4 categories: androids, artificial life forms, and target Goku. And so pretty much they're gonna have Android 13 on all those teams, and you can have the AGL Android 13 on all those teams. So for me, it just makes sense to have him kind of paired up with them, or you'll have them paired up with him at multiple points. Once you've obviously got them paired up, then you can kind of do whatever you want. In terms of links, they have Red Ribbon Army, Android Assault, Tough as Nails, Cold Judgment, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, and Shattering the Limit. As we can see, this is a turn without Android 13 and without Fusion Android 13, and without either of them, they only have 80,000 defense. Not great, not bad, but not great. They will gain an additional 29%, practically 30%, when they perform a super attack, so that amount will near 100k or so. So they're not distinctly terrible when they don't have an Android 13 in the turn. It's just that they're not distinctly excellent. They're not like super duper great or anything like that. They just kind of like a okay fusion unit. There's no real way to kind of describe it. Obviously the goal, it's great that we saw them without them, but the goal is realistically to at least see them in a somewhat reasonable situation. So we're going to have them mesh up with the Android 13. We'll also have them link up with this Fusion Android 13 in one turn, and then we'll push the Android 13 off so you can see how they do without Android 13 after receiving their buff. And yeah, just in general, we get a good idea of how they perform. In terms of performance, they're really not bad. They'll do well in a lot of events, mainly just because in SBR and ESBR, the ability to see super attacks makes them really, really good. Now, the cool thing is that if you have Android 13, the strength one is a stacking unit, so for long form events you can kind of bring them along, and although they won't be great at a certain point, the ability to foresee super attacks makes them super strong. And then if you go and do for example another event, maybe like SBR or ESBR, or even if you just bring the AGL Android 13 along, you'll be able to meet their Fusion Android 13 requirements, and with 30% damage reduction, along with the 100 or so, well, yeah, the 100, and you'll see, but the very decent defensive stat, they won't be terrible defensively. They're not going to be incredible, but they will definitely be very good. They're kind of a unit that does a little bit of everything, which makes them pretty fun to bring along and pretty useful in a lot of situations. They're not going to be the absolute best at a lot of things, but they're going to be the best jack of all trades that you're probably able to find on Dokkan right now. So as you can see, they have 128,000 defense. This is because they are receiving that additional 90% attack and defense, so you can see straight away that their defense has really gone up. When they super, that defense will go up again, and also we're able to see super attacks. We did obviously purposely take this one, but still 2.1 million, 150 or so thousand defense, and 30% damage reduction, and the ability to see enemy super attacks, and they're providing everyone else 30% attack and defense. It's pretty nuts. It's a pretty cool situation to be in. Obviously, to have all of those active, you kind of have to have had them with Android 13, and then of course you need to have the only good Fusion, and well, good in inverted commas, Android 13 unit is Fusion Android 13 unit is the AGL one, the one that transforms into Android 13. So it also is a very specific situation, but like I said, they are pretty much designed to only exist on 4 teams. And on all those teams except Joined Forces, they can link with this Android 13. So, I don't know, they're really good. I do like them. They are pretty good when you just have them with just an Android, so Android 13. They don't need the fused Android 13, he just gives them the damage reduction, which is nice, but not necessary. You still get a lot of really good benefits without them. Here you can see that 140k, so with their on the super defense, that 29%, they're going to be pushing some decent defensive numbers. Really solid, and attack wise also looking really nice. It's nothing spectacular, it's not like a 4 million attack stat or anything, but it's really good. And the fact that they lower attack and defense while using it as well is kind of just a really good thing. It basically just gives them a lot more options to bring to the table. It makes them a lot more usable overall. So I like them. I think they're really solid. In terms of links, they got a lot of links. Red Ribbon Army gives them 10% defense. Android Assault gives them another 10% defense. Tough as Nails gives them another 5% defense and 5% damage reduction. Cold Judgment gives them another 5% defense. Nightmare gives them 5% attack. Fear and Faith reduces all enemies' defense, and Sharing the Limit gives them another 5% defense. So as you could tell, the majority of their links give them defense of some kind, which is good, with their damage reduction, with everything active, with the ability to foresee super attacks. And if they were link leveled, these guys would be kicking up a pretty good defensive stat, don't get me wrong. But with that being said, their attack doesn't really have much room to maneuver. It's pretty much where it is, 2.1, 2.3 mil. Maybe with equipment, with level 10 links, with support on the rotation, we're looking at maybe near the 2.8, pushing it with a couple actives or buffs, 3 million, but that's really about it. In terms of the most important links, so Sharing the Limit is the most common key link you're going to find, at least at first. They also have Fear and Faith, which will be pretty helpful. I think Cold Judgment's a very helpful link, obviously just from a defensive standpoint. So if you are going to try and run them on a team, and you don't want to utilize a Android 13 or something, then getting Sharing the Limit and Cold Judgment is probably the bare bones that you can do, considering Android Assault, Tough as Nails, and Red Ribbon Army aren't really super common links outside of Android 14 and 15s, Android 13s, like Android 17s, Android 18s, Android 16s. Those are going to be where you're going to find those links. So it's a little bit difficult to focus on anything else if you do want something substantial. Fear and Faith is a pretty decent alternative if you want, but again, none of the units that seem to have Fear and Faith and Cold Judgment are on their categories. They're very category limited unit, so although they're very useful in a lot of situations, it's pretty much best for an androids or artificial life form or target Goku team. Just pretty much it, really. They have Android Assault, pretty nice. Obviously there's quite a few units that can provide Android Assault, but their best linking partners are going to be Strength Android 13, AGL Android 13, Tech Android 13, Int Android 13, and hopefully any future Android 13s that we get, pretty much going to be their best linking partners. So it's very difficult to kind of say any units outside of that, especially considering the Strength Android 13 is a free-to-play unit, and so you can pair both of those units up really well. Although if you do have AGL Android 13, I do highly suggest pairing them up, because it's very powerful, obviously activating all the perks, but also it's just a fun combination to run. They really link well with this guy, and they can really help him out. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. I don't think there's any other links we need to focus on. I don't really think there's anything we've missed so far. Obviously they are a free-to-play unit. You can easy A them from the Super Android 13 Extreme Z area, which you would have seen pop up in the right hand corner. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. Otherwise I'll see you next time. So until then, bye.